Well. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome to Take the Points,
a true underdog podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're back. Although Steve's intro is just his mouse scrolling in the background because his audio picks up literally.
Why does it pick up everything
so
I do?
loud.
I'm trying to
click, click, click. Steve's like, I remembered something. Click, 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 click.
And normally,
like, he's checking it out.
I'm like, maybe I should pull up who the Tigers prospects are.
You have no idea how much of that I edit out. Sometimes I'm like, all right, it's the rest of it's just going to be in there because it's happening every 30 seconds.
Oh, dude, my bad.
But a lot of the time I'm like painstakingly going through and taking that out. But I'm leaving it in this time because we've talked about it for so long, so people have to hear it.
No. I'll use my little scroll pad. Do you hear me? My fingers scrolling on the pad.
The infamous trackpad. No, you're good.
You're good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're great. See, I just have everything locked in my mind, and Wilson just goes off the cuff. So
yeah, that's why
Steve,
I do a little blend of both, dude. I'm like,
But it makes it so that
like a hybrid.
I say the dumbest stuff though, because you're looking at it on the screen, Steve, and Robbie, you have it all memorized. So I just say dumb stuff that's not true.
I say dumb shit too. I think don't disclude me from that.
Okay. Yeah. We all say dumb stuff.
Yeah.
This
Robbie,
is the first
you're probably the least.
Yeah. Well, that's just my personality in general.
Yeah.
So, which then I actually think brings the worst out of you both. Actually, the fact that I am not like that actually I think makes you guys both more want to say.
Yeah, but I just throw stuff out there because I figure you miss 99% of the shots you don't take. So
there it is.
Yep.
There it is. Little inside baseball. I was just saying earlier that one of my first interviews out of college and a job, I said, you just miss 99% of the shots you don't take. And the guy was like, What about the other 1%?
The other 1% is luck.
Ooh,
just comes to you.
Didn't get that job. Let me tell you. Nope. But here we are. It's nice to all be back together again. I think this is our first pod with all three of us in a couple weeks. So Wilson, glad to have you back.
Yeah. I was down in Florida doing a little music stuff. So good to be back.
Why don't you prep everybody on what you got going on this fall?
This fall, well, if we have any listeners in Nashville, Columbus, Cleveland, or Buffalo, New York, my band Last Night Saved My Life is coming to town. So come on out. If I will be stunned if somebody comes up to our merch table after we play a show and say, "Hey, I'm here because I listened to your podcast. Take the points." But it would make my life if that were to happen. So.
Yeah.
Come check us out.
Please, somebody do that.
Yes. Follow us on Instagram, Last Night Saved My Life, and you'll find our the dates and the venues.
Even if it's Steve or I that comes up to the table.
Well, that would
hey, man, I really heard about your podcast.
We should do the Nashville trip. That would be fun.
Yeah, Nashville's sweet.
Honestly, I would be really shocked because we just played a show in Metro Detroit and neither of you guys were there. So if you were to come to Nashville to the show.
I guess that marketing campaign might not have the reach that you're looking for.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
awkward.
Sorry to call you guys out.
What do we want to talk about today? Speaking of awkward, should we transition to the Tigers being awkwardly bad right now?
Yeah, I have been going back and forth on whether or not I am at all worried about it. Sure, we need some bullpen help. That's obvious. But we've got the guys that we've had all year. And if you were to tell me that 100 games into the season, we're 100 games into the season right now. If you were to tell me that we'd have not only the best record in the AL or in our division, but the best record in baseball, which we still do, even after this stretch we've gone through, I would have been so elated. Like, I don't care if we've just lost 4 out of our last 10, which is actually what it is. We're 4-6 in our last 10. Okay, big deal. I wouldn't have cared about that. I'd be like, we got the best record in baseball, 100 games in. Let's freaking go. So I don't know if I'm that worried about it, but then you look at it, we lost 6 in a row. Is there something else going on that we don't know about within the team? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think this has been, and then Steve, I'll let you jump in. I know we talked a little bit about it last week. I think if you look at this team since June 1st, just going a larger stretch of time, that's where yes, this last 6 games has just been horrible. Going into the break, I think there was some all-star distraction. Everyone's thinking about getting on break. They were riding their high horse, and they ran into some wrong teams at the wrong time. Pitching fell apart, a couple bullpen collapses. It's going to happen over 162 games. There's just no way around it. But if you look back to June 1st, that's where we start to see the record is 500 around there. So that's where this has been a longer stretch of time. The reality is we just got out to a really hot start. Then we've just won some series, we've lost some series, and that's just how the season has gone. I equated a little bit to how the Lions were last year, where I think we talked about this, right? When they had 2 losses or 1 loss, whatever it was, like halfway through the year. And it was like, when your expectations change of what you want from this team, it's like winning the division is great now, but now you're already thinking playoffs. And so I think that's where we all jump ahead to say, okay, this team's good now. They might run away with this division with an 11-game lead. But when we get up into the playoffs and you're facing the Astros or Seattle or the Yankees, is that where we feel like this team's at a point of, okay, we think we can win a World Series? And I think it relates a lot to the Lions last year. We were like division good, but then when it came to like the playoffs, it was like, God, can we really go up against the Eagles? It didn't feel like we have the horses. I feel very similar to the Tigers now, pre-deadline. I think post-deadline, I'm hoping we make some moves, but this is the ebb and flow of the season. I think we're just regressing a little bit more to what we should have been to start the year. We're still a good team. I don't know if we're this powerhouse dominant team that we were for 2 months of the year, just unbeatable. I just don't think that that's how this team is built. I think you have a lot of guys kind of playing outside of their historical averages if you look at the numbers.
Yeah. That's perfect. I don't know what else to add to that except for they're just overachieving. And Wilson, to your point, if you would have told me today 100 games in, you're 60-40, right? The macro view of that is awesome.
Absolutely.
Right? Looking at it micro, you just dropped 2 of 3 to Texas. You got shelled by Seattle. I think.
God, they look
Robbie,
good. Seattle looks so good.
And that's where
good.
That's what makes me. I think that's what probably makes me the most nervous about this team. Is if you don't lock up, if you don't maintain where you're at and get a higher seed in the playoffs, you do not want to be in a best of 3 series with Seattle or with Houston or really even like a Toronto or Boston, who's red hot right now too. I don't think a best of 3. I think we want to avoid that best of 3 round as much as possible and just like, hey, we'll see you in right in the ALDS.
Yeah, see you in a 5-game set because then you get Scooble probably going twice in that series.
Twice.
Which we just got to win our division. Like, I mean, right? That's and we're going to do that. It looks like, unless there's a total collapse, like you said, Robbie, 11-game lead with 62 to go. We'd have to really fall apart. It's possible, but it's not likely.
Look, we just lost 6 in a row, and I think we were 13.5 was our highest.
Yeah.
We lost 6 in a row, and we're up 11. It's like that's how it goes. You really got to go into a deep tailspin, and then the other teams. Kind of what happened last year. Minnesota, we don't make the playoffs last year with how we played unless Minnesota shits the bed.
Right, true.
Like, if we go into that...
Yeah, so it is possible.
It's possible. But if we go into that big of a tailspin, then I doubt that we're going to make much noise in the playoffs anyways. So, we got to... the mentality right now is we're winning the division. So, to your point, Robbie, what does it look like when you're going up against the Yankees down the line?
Yeah, the playoff.
And
fuck the Yankees though, dude. They don't do shit.
But
they haven't played that well either.
I know.
They have. It's honestly like look at the Milwaukee Brewers just swept the Dodgers. They've won 10 in a row.
Such a good team.
But it's just that's so baseball.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's just what it is.
Tampa Bay always here they are about 500 at the deadline. You don't know what they're going to do, and then
they're going to accelerate, right?
Yeah.
But they probably will. They're going to have a good second half. It's just how do you get that feeling like we talked about with the Lions focus last year too of would you rather have them be 15-2 and limping into the playoffs, or be battle tested coming in being 11-6, but they've gone through some tough challenges. They're rising versus feeling like they're just trying to maintain. That's what I want the Tigers to feel like is how do we go through those moments of challenge to then hopefully be in a position where you know what I mean? You're galvanized as a team, which that's where I hope coming out of the deadline. This weekend shows they got to do at least 2 to 3 moves at this deadline, or I am not feeling confident at all from a playoff standpoint.
Totally, yes.
They need a bat and a couple arms in the pen. Do you guys agree? I think it's imperative.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
It'll help them start to get to that peak at the right time, and because that's really what it's all about. They need I think Hinch needs to even bring in Tom Izzo as a consultant or something about how do you peak at the right time. And Hinch, I think, actually did that last year with the team. If they can have even a half of the, back of the season stretch that they had last year, I mean, we're going to be in a good shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the best runs of all time.
You just got to tread water at this point, right? Tread water, keep that lead safe. But you're right. I mean, I was thinking about it last night, Robbie, and it's funny. As I was thinking about it, somebody stepped up. But in a high leverage situation, who do you count on? Who do you have faith in? Right? Let's say it's late in the game, you're down 2 runs, you got runners on the corners and 1 out. What batter is coming up where you're like, okay, something can happen here?
I mean, Gleyber Torres is who it is
That's
for me.
probably my number
Gleyber
one.
is probably my number one.
Probably it.
And then as I thought of that, Matt Vierling drove in the winning one.
Of course.
Last, right?
Dude, yes.
But that was Matt Vierling's played 16 games this year.
Yeah, he has
Kerry
not been.
Carpenter cannot stay healthy. Who else? Javi Baez, isn't it? Spencer Torkelson, isn't it? Riley Green, sure, but he also has a strikeout rate of like 38%. It's insane how much he strikes out. When we went to the game last week or a couple weeks ago, Robbie and I, we were checking his stats live, and he literally has a 33 at that point, had like a 33% strikeout rate.
Wow.
Over 100 strikeouts already this season. And that was before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
He's bad.
So as good as he is, and I think he's a really good player.
He's boom or bust.
Yeah, right. And is that what you want in your best bat? I don't know. It's just tough. I think you're right. We need a bat for sure.
Baez is also regressing back to the norm. Like it's these guys like Torque. We're high strikeouts. That's the problem with this team. We are a high strikeout team. We're really bad the past couple games, past couple months, really, with guys in runners in scoring position. That's what kills you in the playoffs. I mean, you look at last year, the biggest hit we had with guys in a scoring position was Andy Ibanez, that pinch hit against the Astros. Like, right, he's not even on the team anymore. It's just, I look at yesterday, it's like you want a pinch hit too in the 8th inning right now. You got Parker Meadows, who has been horrible since he's come back. Horrible.
Yeah.
Kerry Carpenter's on the IL still. You have Jake Rogers, who's been absolutely putrid, and you have Trey Sweeney. Like, those are your bats coming off the bench. Cole Keith has been really great, so he's been playing, but those are your 3 guys on the bench when Keith already pinch hit. Like that, you cannot have that in a playoff series. Like that is, you can have one of those guys. You can't have, like, that's where we're fine. You want to go out and trade for a Suarez or this third baseman from Pittsburgh they're talking about now. Guy's got like a 600 OPS, but he's great defensively. Like, that's okay. He's good base stealer. Like, those are the type of guys you need to have. That's where I think Hinch has to upgrade. It may not be a superstar, but you need another proven bat that has to be able to come off the bench because you need it in a game this weekend. How great would it have been last night in the 8th or 9th to be able to pinch hit someone that you know can go yard? You just don't have it. It's not on the team right now.
I would argue, too, I think you do need a little bit. I don't think you need that superstar bat, but I think you need a step above what you just said. Because you look at what this team largely is made of. Zach McKinstry, Trey Sweeney, Matt Vierling, Gleyber Torres is having a great year, but is he a great player? Like, not really. Like, he's good, not great, right? We need someone who's in that flirting with great player type of region, I guess, to where they would come in and say, okay, this guy's coming to bat, and whether he's pinch hitting off the bench or he's just a cog in the middle of our lineup every day, you need someone that late in the game you have to account for, right? You have to think, okay, this guy's 3 batters out and I'm bringing a lefty in. He crushes lefties. It's not Kerry Carpenter, right? Like, this is just a guy, like, and if I go to a righty, he's got good splits against him too. You need that kind of just a dude, right, on that level.
Well, I mean, there's that side of it, but then there's also, like, when we've been losing lately, it has really been mostly because of our pitching, I think. Like, when you look at our losses, outside of this last series against the Rangers, when you look at our 7 losses before that, the amount of runs that we've given up has been 8, 15, 12, 7, 11, and 9.
Yeah, we got smoked by.
I mean,
Seattle did some work.
Dude, they literally looked like the World Series roster that bad.
I couldn't believe
they're
it.
So good.
Well, and so, okay, and really quick, Wilson, like a great example is Seattle got Randy Arozarena. That's the kind of guy you need, right?
Yep.
Like, you need that. Like, he's not a superstar player, but he's pretty damn good. and he was on an expiring deal. Tampa wasn't going to pay him. Like, that's a scenario where the Tigers should have jumped on. He was a player I wanted last year anyway, but you got to find that kind of guy out there. Someone who is with a cheap club, who's not going to pay them for next year. They're going to be rebuilding or just, mailing it in for the rest of the year, and go get their best or second or third best hitter. Go get them.
Yeah, I agree. And it's going to come down to what Harris wants to do. Like, Pittsburgh's in town this weekend. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to go get Bednar in the bullpen, or you want to go get their third baseman, whatever his name is. Was it Chris
Brian Hayes? I don't
Brian
know
Hayes.
about him.
But it's but the only thing, sure, he may not be a big bat, but that's a guy under club control for the next 3 years. That's a great defensive third baseman. Like, at least it's something, right? Where you're like, all right, I know that allows you to not start Cole Keith. Maybe you put him on the bench. Now he becomes a pinch hitter. Like, you got some creativity. It's going to come down to, does Harris want to deal any of these prospects? I personally think that our top two are non-touchable. Like, I don't think he's an
I'd say our top three too. Bryce Ramirez is really good. He's hurt anyway. No one's really going to want him.
Yeah, his shoulders. But like Lorenzo or something like that, or like Lorenzo, a Jace Young, a Matt Manning, like some guys like that, they're going to have to deal to try to get a bat and hopefully a bullpen arm. I saw they were in the market for David Robertson, who Dave Dombrowski signed from the Phillies, which is so great. He was there. The Tigers were one of the final teams in on him, and he ended up signing a $6 million deal for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
40-year-old.
I'm like, right? Yeah,
that's where we're at.
Same deal. It's the Alex Cobb thing, right?
Oh God, he's still getting hips or
I know.
injections in his hips. Yeah. he needs a new hip. He's literally had 7 injections in his hip.
Geez.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see what happens. Also, you know what I don't like about baseball? Why do we have to wait till the day of the deadline? Like, it baffles me. What, do we really have to wait till 11:59 to do the deal? Like, can we just do it?
What day is the
deadline? I know they say
it's a week from Thursday.
Okay. Thursday, yeah. So Steve and I will be totally distracted with just text alerts popping up. But you know what I mean, though? It's like you back. I think it's because they say these 2 weeks are the most important of the season, from the All-Star break till the deadline, because it's these teams deciding, are we in or are we out? That's why I want the Tigers to also keep winning, is like, tell Minnesota and Cleveland, like, you got no shot, just so they end up selling. Same with Kansas City. But like, we got games in between now and 2 weeks. I could use another bullpen arm now. I think it's weird that they wait so long. It's one of those weird things in sports. Like, why do we have to wait till we have the day of, like 4 hours before, like 50 trades happen? And you're like, could we have not have done this a week ago?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think a lot of that too is on the sellers in the league.
Yeah.
Right. Why are you going to just jump at the first offer that comes your way? Or are you going to build up some urgency closer to the deadline?
Yeah, that's probably true.
For a fucking exciting Thursday.
Hell yeah.
That day is so much fun.
Unless your team tries to trade Eduardo Rodriguez and then your manager realizes he's got a no trade clause to go to LA Dodgers. Way to go, Scott. Come on. Get your shit together.
I think there was some.
Although he's been horrible this year. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think there was some more fuckery going on there on the Erod side. But
true. I just realized I got to jump in a couple of minutes. Can we quickly talk about Leos? Can we take
yes. Let it rip.
We got to jump in about Lions training camp opened up. I can't believe football is back. It's crazy. Football's
feels
back.
Like a football day today.
Guys, the injuries are already starting. Did you see this shit with Levi Onwuzurike?
Yes, right after we signed him. Yes.
Yeah,
but did you hear Dan Campbell's comment about this, Wilson? I don't know if you heard his presser. When they asked him, when did he tear his ACL? Did he tear it like in the offseason, essentially, right? His answer was shocking to me. He said, well, after we signed him, a couple weeks after, he was kind of complaining about his knee. And then a month later, I think he may have had a torn ACL when he signed his damn deal and they didn't even catch it. It's insane to me that happened. Like, Campbell wasn't like, oh yeah, he was working out in Arizona and,
which he would have said, it would have been clear.
Right.
Yeah.
He did not say that. He did not say that. And it's like Levi being out is a huge miss for them on the defensive line. Man. Like this is, again, like we said, they got all this cap room. I am worried. I'm officially worried about this year. I think they're going to be a good team, but I think we're going to see some major regression from this team. It just feels just feels that way.
15-2 isn't going to happen.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a sizable step
11
backwards.
and 6 years.
You think we're going to jump away?
Playoffs?
Not even be a contender?
I think at this point, unless we see some major production from guys we're not expecting, like this team has, to me, 10-7, 11-6 written all over I mean, you got to think about it, guys. They have a rookie. They don't know who's starting center, left guard, or right guard is right now. And they have pretty much Aiden Hutchinson coming off a broken leg. Aleem McNeil is out till November. DJ Reader's like 1,000. Like they are what this team's been built on the offensive defensive line. You look at their biggest holes right now.
It's on the defensive line
with 2 coordinators. Like I'm worried. I'm worried we didn't do enough this offseason. It feels like it's rearing its ugly head again right now.
I think that's fair.
Oh man, what a sad thing to feel on a Monday.
I'm not trying to be down. I think I'm trying to set my own expectation of like this year. Like we may lose a couple, but like that's just what we've seen in the past 2 years is not. I don't think sustainable for all of these years. I think we're going to have a bit of a letdown. It doesn't mean we're not going to be great and we can't win the Super Bowl. I think people are going to have to just slow their expectations on this team. You're going to have a starting rookie potentially at center for subbing for Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, man.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
That is brutal. It is.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't know. I'm excited for football to get going, obviously, too. It's been interesting.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I am. I'm excited.
Dude, you got me amped up. No, here's what.
No, I know. I'm still excited. I'm not trying to come off as negative. I want to be clear on that. I'm concerned. Are you guys okay if I'm concerned?
I'm okay with it. I also believe in Dan Campbell and what he can do and what he can bring out of guys that we don't expect guys that we just don't expect to be at the level that they're at. Think about some of those games last season where we had so many injuries and we had dudes coming off the practice squad winning the game like all over the place. So I don't know. I know we have big holes in probably bigger places than we did then, but I believe in Dan Campbell and the organization.
That's a fair. I think that's if there's anything to believe in, it's Dan Campbell.
Yes.
It's that he can get the most out of people that maybe are not predicted to be great. We got to wonder with some of this depth.
I know.
God, we couldn't have signed one more like defensive lineman or tackle. It just feels like we're one more injury away again from being at the end of last year. We're just so thin on the offensive defensive line. It's
you got guys like Broderick Martin who on top of Levi Wanzarike who just don't see the field.
He stinks.
Yeah, it's tough.
He's really bad.
It is really bad.
You're going to be dependent on a guy like Roy Lopez, who's a career, defensive tackle. He played in Arizona last year. Like that's, anyways, this is just where I think you're going to see some additions in camp, I think, of just some guys rotating in and out. Cause to me, the offensive line is still my biggest concern just with Ragnow being gone. And it's kind of a reality now coming into training camp. Like Frank's done. You know what I mean? It's not like, he'll be like,
I'm still mad at him.
I'm still mad at him. I can't believe he bounced, man. I was just like, give us one more year. And Taylor Decker had shoulder surgery too. He's out.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor Decker's pretty long in the tooth there himself. I don't think.
I love that line.
You like long in the tooth?
I love that line. Yeah. Yes, it's a great line.
Too. Shout out Travis Tritt. That's where long in the tooth. That song "Great Day to Be Alive." But anyway, Taylor Decker's probably done. I mean, realistically, this might be his last season in Detroit. He can be a cap casualty next year, and he's just getting old, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But now, again, Robbie, to your point, the strengths that we had these 2 years, we went to the NFC Championship game and then followed that up with a 15-2 run that we just couldn't. Last year, the injuries were just too much.
Yeah, they couldn't overcome it.
You can't overcome that. You can do it with guts and nuts in the regular season, but
that was good. Guts and nuts.
That was good.
Guys, that's a great slogan. Guts and nuts
for the Lions. Guts and nuts. I like that.
Holy
okay.
Wow. That is Steve.
Trademark.
Did that come naturally? Was that AI?
That came naturally. That's right up in the old dome here.
That should be the take the point slogan.
Nuts.
Guts and nuts, dude.
Guts and nuts. I like it. Okay.
Dude, I love that so
Thank
much.
You.
Wow.
Please,
and I have a lot of guts.
Nah.
Pretty big nuts. I don't know.
I think one thing I'm not great at is taking compliments. So I'm very uncomfortable.
We're happy to give you the compliments for guts and nuts. Fellas, I got to bounce though. So
okay, whatever.
It's been real, but I got to leave you with one question I want you guys to talk about that I really wanted to debate today that I can't. Steve, I heard it on the radio today. They were talking. The question is, who is the most valuable player to their team in Detroit? And the conversation today was around the guy on the radio, Mark Ryan, he's only been here for a little while, was like, I think it's Tarek Skubal. And I thought that was nuts. I think it's easily Cade Cunningham 1, Jared Goff 2, Tarek Skubal 3, but I'll listen. I'm going to call.
You're
I'm going
gonna
to hang up and listen. I just wanted, that was the other question I wanted to chat about today. So sorry,
That's
I
a
can't
good
stick.
one.
I got to bounce, but yeah. I can let you guys fester on that.
It's a good parting gift.
We'll talk about it. Thanks for throwing that out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodbye, my
All
friends.
right.
It was good to see you all.
See ya.
All right, guys.
Later.
Peace.
See ya later.
Yeah, Steve, I don't even know if I would put Tarek Skubal in the top 3.
I was going to say we shouldn't even answer this question just to piss him off. Like as soon as he's gone, let's just talk about. All right, changing the subject.
Just move
Wilson.
on. That's also a great idea. But I really do like the question, and I agree that like baseball, just like you don't pitch enough of the games percentage wise to be as impactful as in basketball, where Cade Cunningham's impacting every play on both sides of the court, or like he said, Jared Goff.
Baseball's very much the sum. What is it? The
sum of the parts.
The sum of the parts, right, is greater than each one individually. And Tarek Skubal, again, this goes back to, I think, Wilson, one of the episodes you were out, Robbie and I talked about it. I don't think Skubal's going to sign here.
No, he doesn't seem like he wants to. His attitude is they're not giving him enough help. I mean, I was thinking about it as he didn't get the win yesterday because it went to what's his name, who came in?
Tyler Holton.
Yeah. But he would have got the win if our bats had putting up some runs while he was in there.
But you only pitch 1 out every 5 days.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's Skubal. I would say it's probably Cade, just because he's an all NBA player on a resurgent team. That you take Cade off this team,
it's done.
Like hello, 15 wins.
Yeah,
again.
We're back to worst. So one of the worst in the conference.
Yeah.
I would, but I would probably put. I don't know if it would be Goff, but somebody on the Lions would have to be after him, whether it be Amon-Ra or Jared Goff or even like Penei Sewell.
Yeah, I would probably say Goff. I think it's just the most important position on the team, and then after that, I would say Sewell.
Yeah,
Sewell, or if you could expand that to be the offensive line as a unit, being the MVP, that would work. But yeah, it's a good question, but definitely not Skubal.
Definitely not.
And really, I don't think very rare cases is it any baseball player.
Yeah, you'd have to be like maybe Ohtani when he was like pitching and batting and hitting like a million home runs and pitching every 5th day. Yeah.
Yeah, 60 home runs and a Cy Young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're the MVP for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not. Yeah. So, well, Lions, starting back up. Lions is going to be, I'm with you. I feel like I'm kind of battening down the hatches a bit for a bit of a regression, but I don't think that we can't make a deep playoff run. I think it's just going to be a grittier way of doing it. And that's like what we've always wanted. We embrace that.
That's just what we are. Go. It's like we had just said a few minutes ago. I'll take an 11-6 team if they're peaking at the right time going into the playoffs. Like that actually feels better than 15-2, but everybody's injured. Like if that's our situation this year, that'll be great. That's a 4-game loss, 4 more losses than last year regression. That'd be fine.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And that's the Lions or the Lions. That's the Eli Manning effect.
Yeah.
Right when they went on and beat the undefeated Patriots.
Absolutely.
And just got hot at the right time and pulled out 2 miracle plays in the Super Bowl. But
that's all it takes. I mean, when you get down,
that's all it takes.
Yeah. Once you get to the playoffs, it's like any game could go any way. It's one game. So we just got to get there and be not banged up like we were last year.
Yeah. And I think part of what Robbie said too, the dual new coordinators is going to be something that takes time anyway. So I think going back to the trademark term, you can guts and nuts it for the first 7 or 8 games, but eventually you hope, right, or hopefully at least, the offense starts to hum, right? This new offensive coordinator gets into the rhythm with Goff and Amon-Ra and these other weapons, and they start to click. The offensive line starts to click. And then, of course, injuries is a big piece of that. But if you start putting it together week 12, 13, 14, right? Okay, now you're dangerous. And I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's one unique thing about football is like, I feel like it is the right length of a season Whereas,
Yeah.
every game matters enough, and like it gives you enough time to figure out who your team is throughout the season and like start to hit your stride. And when you have new coordinators, you got enough time to get some experience with them, and then there's still enough of the season in the playoffs left. But it's not like a crazy amount of time where it's like, okay, we're 100 games in now, and here's 62 more, like we have in baseball.
Right. Yeah. Like if you're the White Sox right now, and it's like, great. Like, when is October? Please tell me.
Yeah, because you can go
Right.
through in baseball like the Tigers kind of like have right now. Find yourself, have some great stretches, know who you are as a team, and then the season is so long that you're going to go through really tough stretch and have to do it again and have to find yourself again. You don't really have to do that in football. And so I think if the Lions can just do that one time and sit those 6 or 7 games at the start of the season to figure that out, and I believe they will, because once again, it comes back to Dan Campbell. He's the one leading those coordinators, who's going to be the one to, he's got the identity for the team already. I think that's totally enough time for them to get their new experience with their new coordinators, the new team that they're going to have, and then still have a great shot at it. So.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think going into, and I just really quickly, Wilson was pulling up the schedule. So sorry if you heard my fingertips clicking.
You should be.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I was throwing you off when I was doing it. I mean, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the first 6 games are tough. Packers, Bears, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, and Chiefs.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Like, that's going to be brutal. That's where 2 and 4, 3 and 3 could happen, and we're going to be like, holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Right?
But
you pick it back up at the second half, and you'll be okay.
We'll just have to, go into the season with that mentality. I think once we get closer, everybody's going to be looking at the schedule more and realizing that's a very likely possibility that we'll be just trying to be 500 for those first 6 games, and it's okay. If you lose 3 games, we could lose 3 more games throughout the rest of the season and still be totally fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be, and I think also part of it is we've never been where we were last year. The favorite, the number 1 seed, just pulling out these wins that just didn't seem like we could do it. And it's hard. It's hard to take a step back from that because we wanted that for so long, but it didn't ultimately result in the ultimate goal.
Well, we know what that feels like now, and we know that it doesn't feel a whole lot better to be 15-2 and then get bounced immediately than it feels to just not make the playoffs. Didn't feel a whole lot better to me.
No, not even a little bit better.
No, it made the hurt worse at the end. So
yeah, and I think it makes, to Robbie's big thing, it makes that NFC Championship game a couple years ago just seem so much.
Oh, I know. But Robbie knew it in the moment. I'll give him some credit. He knew it in the moment how big of a hurt that was. And for me, I was like, dude, we'll be right back next year.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's so hard to be back. Yeah.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. We could go. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just not going to. Yeah, I'm not.
You're not going to go into it. We got one more thing to talk about, I think, before we go here,
right.
And just real quick, it's the Pistons. They did have their summer league. They went 3-2. They lost in the consolation ladder. I mean, the summer league is so hard to evaluate because it's like 3 guys that are playing in the summer league are actually even going to be on the team. But did you have any takeaways from just looking at, I don't know if you watched any of the games, but just looking at the stats and what happened?
Yeah. Oh, definitely didn't watch any of the games. Did you watch any of the games?
Yeah. I didn't sit down and watch a full game of any of them, but I caught little bits here and there.
Okay. You tuned in for a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I didn't watch at all, but obviously we follow the team. We follow the stats. I'm a fan of Ron Holland. I think he can be a good player in this league. I was encouraged by his performance. I guess that would be one of my key takeaways, that he can be a good piece on this team. And I think if he is a good piece, I feel really good about the Pistons' depth.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a Ron Holland lover, but he did add, some energy, some defense to the team last year. he showed in this summer league that he can score. Like I think he had 28 one game, 22 another. Like
he's a freak athlete.
Yeah, and obviously he's playing against mostly guys that are not going to actually be in the league, but they're guys that are all really close. And if you're dropping almost 30 points on them, you can come in and be a contributor. You should be able to come in and be a contributor. Yeah. And he hit 4 out of 5 from 3 one game. It's like, okay, maybe he can shoot sometimes.
Yeah.
So that was encouraging.
And he's only, 20 years old still?
21 or something, yeah.
21, yeah.
But for sure, yeah, that's encouraging. And then also just watching Chaz Lanier. Dude is bigger than I thought he was going to look. Like, okay, he's got a little bit of size. He's listed as 6'4", but I don't know. He looked like he had some size. He's quick. So I kind of liked Chaz Lanier was sticking out to me. He never went off, but he was scoring double figures, looked very comfortable. So that's
I think he's gonna. I mean, he has to be comfortable. I think he's expected to be on the team.
Oh, he'll be on the team. He'll definitely be on the team.
Well, and get minutes, right?
Yeah.
The other guy on the team or on summer league who I think has a shot at least to be a rotational piece is Bobby Klintman.
Okay.
He's a little bit of an undersized power forward, but he can shoot it. And I think from a depth perspective, really, power forward is probably our weakest spot. In my opinion. I don't know if you'd agree, but we could use an upgrade over Tobias, and then Beef Stew is Beef Stew. Good, not great, right? You need, I think, a guy like Bobby Klintman, if he can come up and be a contributor.
Yeah.
Right? Just kind of the back of the rotation kind of guy who can come in, play hard, and get you some points and make some big shots. Cool. Great.
I think if even just one, I mean, we know Ron Holland from last year is likely going to be a rotational, regular rotation player this year. He should be. But if Klintman or Lanier also is, then that would be huge to have one of those guys be able to be a rotational guy, because there are several spots that we still need to fill. I know we picked up a couple shooters with Robinson and a guy who can score with blanking on his name right now from Michigan. Yes, Levert.
Yeah.
We still haven't gotten, and I know we still have a mid-level exception that we can use to try to get a stretch 4 or something. But if we don't, that's a big piece missing. Backup point guard is a piece missing. Just, more guard depth I think is missing. So I don't know if Lanier and Holland can fill those spots, and if Klintman can play the 4 a bit, then hopefully that's not the situation, and we do bring in some guys that you would trust a little bit more. But I don't know. I feel kind of similarly to what I was saying, how I trust Dan Campbell, Trajan Langton, and Bickerstaff. I think they earned our trust a little bit. So if they,
Cade with a healthy Ivy too is going to be better.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know. You
forgot, didn't you?
I forgot about that, but I also feel like I didn't love the Ivy and Cade dynamic ever. And I thought that the team actually got better when Ivy went out. I know I've said it a couple times on here before. The team actually played better when Ivy went out last season. So I'm a little worried about how that's going to look and what it's going to do to the momentum we had and what Cade was able to do last year. But on paper, it should be better. It should be better.
Yeah.
So,
and I wonder if that makes, with Ivy coming back from the injury, he does take more of that backup on ball guard role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. So, could be.
Who knows? But yeah, it'll be interesting. And I also think to your point, if 2 of those guys, or all 3 of them, Lanier, Holland, and Klintman, end up being contributors, that makes us really well positioned for trade deadline.
Yeah, it feels like a lot less holes we need to fill before the season starts. Yeah.
And I think just having, if those guys end up being okay, they can be pieces included in a trade that are seemed valuable, right? And you don't have to give up as many. And we have all the draft picks we need.
That's a really good point.
Anyway,
that's a really good point. Even just showing some young guy development that a team could look at him and be like, this guy could be a part of our future, like a rebuilding team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Yeah, so we'll see. It'll be interesting, but man, we're getting to. Hope you had a good summer, man. It's basically over. We're talking about football and basketball already.
Oh, that is sad, exciting, and sad. I hate when it's getting to the back half of the summer, but I will say, I think the summer's been starting a little bit later and pushing farther into it as far as like weather-wise. So I think we're going to still be feeling pretty good in September and maybe even early October when there's footballs happening and it's still nice out. That's the best, man. I can't wait. It's around the corner.
Yep, a little hard cider.
Oh,
football, love it. Day at the cider mill, then come back for a 4:00 West Coast game.
Dude, you're speaking to my loins.
Love it. Ooh, I'll speak right to those loins, baby. Guts and nuts.
Guts and nuts. Comes back to that. Oh, this was great, man. Yeah, Robbie, we talked about your thing. So Steve wanted not to, and just so you know,
record,
I'm the one who made it happen.
Yes. Yep.
All right, man.
Send him more money in the Christmas card.
Yeah. Because we know he's got that money.
Yep, sure does.
All right, buddy.
Well, we've disclosed too much.
All right. All right, dude. Have a good day.
All right, send us out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You've been gone so long. You forgot the process.
Here, I say something like this. Thanks for listening to another 41 minutes of Take the Points. If you have never shared the show, shame on you, but please do so because we need it. So leave us a comment, drop the link to one of your friends and say, hey, check these guys out. We really appreciate it.
Great alliteration, by the way. Never shared the show. Shame on you.
Yeah, didn't even notice. I'm a poet and I knew it.
I loved it. You did know it.
And we will see you back here very soon on Take the Points.
A true underdog podcast.
Guts and nuts.